Are you the new hired help? Because if you're going to be working on the lawn, you people are supposed to use the service alley behind the houses. I don't want my neighbors thinking I'm letting just anybody wander around the front. That was the very first thing I heard on the very first perfect Saturday morning in my new house. Sun was out, soft, not angry yet. Music on low, classic soul humming from a Bluetooth speaker propped on my porch rail. And me, down on my knees in a pair of faded jeans, squinting at what had to be the world's worst patio furniture assembly instructions. I'd just bought the set. Wicker, nothing flashy, but nice. And the box took up half the porch. This was my house. My porch. My Saturday. I had a little pride, you know? Yeah, let me back up a sec. I was feeling real good. So I'm minding my business, humming along, hammer in hand. Not because I needed it for that part, just because it made me feel like I was building something real, you know? And then, snap, her voice sliced right through everything. Loud. Sharp. Like she was auditioning for Neighborhood Watch and nobody told her the cameras were rolling yet. At first, I thought she must be talking to someone else. I just shifted my weight, trying to line up a stubborn screw. Then it came again, closer. Excuse me, I'm talking to you. So I looked up, and there she was, brighter than a neon sign, squeezed into hot pink jeans, cheetah print shirt, helmet hair. She had that look. The look that says, "You're the problem, not the project." Her finger, long, glittery nail, was pointed right at me. I took out my earbuds, blinking, "I'm sorry." Because what else do you say to a stranger who greets you like you're trespassing in your own life? She wasted no time. Don't play dumb. I run the Neighborhood Watch. We have approved vendors for landscaping and maintenance, and you're not on the list. I got to my feet, hands still stained with sweat and hope. "Ma'am, there's been a misunderstanding. This is my house." She barked out a laugh, mean and ugly. "This house, the old Ainsworth place? I met the new owners. A doctor and his wife, very respectable people. You are not them." Right there, right on my own lawn, all the air sucked out of the moment. I'd closed on that place 3 weeks ago. Worked 2 jobs, saved for years, jumped through every hoop. And here was this woman, so certain, so comfortable in her suspicion, treating me like an intruder. I set down my hammer, not for her sake, but because suddenly it felt heavy, like I was holding the weapon in some story I hadn't signed up for. It's wild how fast confusion gives way to something hotter, heavier. That familiar, exhausted anger. Having to justify your own existence, again. "Ma'am, I live here. My name is on the deed. I put in that new mailbox last weekend." She barely glanced at it, already building her next case. "Don't you lie to me, son. I saw the moving van. Didn't look like you." I just stared. What does a moving company look like? I wanted to laugh, or scream, or both. My cousins and my best friend helped me move. Pizza, beer, sweat, laughter. Was that my crime? She started talking about trespassing, junk, calling the authorities if I didn't pack up and leave in 5 minutes. I told her, as calmly as I could, that she was on my property and needed to leave. That was the trigger. Her face morphed into something righteous, furious. "You're asking me to leave?" she practically shouted. "My family's lived here 40 years. I have a right to protect my community from vagrants and criminals." Vagrants. Criminals. All in 5 minutes. From hired help to vagrant to criminal. I looked around. Kid on a bike across the street. Neighbor watering flowers, but not looking this way. Everyone else's windows closed. Safe in their turtle shells. That isolation hit hard. My dream home. My porch. My little patch of peace. Suddenly, I was the monster at the gate. "Ma'am," my voice sharp now, "this is the last time. Get off my lawn." Her smile spread, slow and triumphant. "Oh, you're threatening me now?" I knew it. "I'm calling the police." The performance was almost comical, but the dread, yeah, that was real. I knew this playbook. I'd seen it before. White woman's fear, real or not, is a powerful weapon. She was already dialing, dramatic, calling for backup against the dangerous man assembling furniture on his porch. The 911 call? She cranked up the act, shaky voice, breathless. "There's a man here, trespassing, very large, very aggressive, has a weapon, a hammer or crowbar or something." My blood ran cold. Those words, they turn a black man into a threat before the cops even hit the lights. I was careful, shoulders relaxed, face neutral, hands empty, nothing sudden. Survive the encounter. That's the grim litany, right? Sirens in the distance, growing louder. For most, that's the sound of help. For me, it was a countdown. Cop car screeched up. Young guy, tight haircut, hand resting a little too casual on his weapon. He went straight to her. That's him, officer. He threatened me. He has a hammer. His eyes finally found me, scanning, calculating. Sir, step off the porch. Hands on your head. Not can you tell me what happened? Just commands. So I did it. Slow, deliberate, humiliating. My own neighbors peeking out now. My private nightmare had become public entertainment. They didn't care about the facts. The movie in her head, helpless woman, dangerous intruder, was so much more dramatic. The cops, the HOA, the crowd, they just had to decide which movie to believe. The officer asked, "So that's a patio set?" Yeah, that's all it was. He looked at me, looked at the scattered furniture. The story didn't fit, but the script was written. Her version was loud, emotional, and she had backup. Mine, calm, pleading, trying not to look angry. 4 cop cars, a circus on my lawn, neighbors watching. The president of the HOA even showed up, Frank, khaki shorts, boat shoes, and all the authority in the world. If Brenda says she was threatened, she was threatened. What's this man even doing here? I told him, again, this was my house. He doubted it, said he knew all the property sales, would have remembered a sale to, well, someone like me. They used everything they could. HOA bylaws, unapproved furniture, conduct unbecoming. Frank quoted rules like scripture, calling my brand new patio set tacky junk. Brenda smiled, triumphant. The police, stuck between a lie and a bureaucratic technicality, told me to pack up the furniture and take it inside. Just for today. To keep the peace. Peace for who? It sure wasn't mine. Defeated, I carried my new dreams back into the garage. Piece by piece, I packed up my pride, my hope for a quiet life. I remembered being 16, driving my girlfriend home. White girl, nice neighborhood, cop flashlight in my eyes, suspicious questions. Same feeling now, just a different stage, a different uniform. I thought I'd left that behind. Guess not. That night, I called my best friend, Mark. Told him everything. Brenda's opening line, the hammer, for cop cars, the HOA's compromise. Mark was furious for me, but all I could feel was bone-deep exhaustion. So, what are you going to do, he asked. I had no idea. Part of me wanted to just fill out their stupid forms, hide the furniture in the backyard, and try to keep my head down. The other part, the angry, stubborn part, knew that was exactly what they wanted. The next day, I got a text from a neighbor, Sarah, blue door across the street. She'd recorded the whole thing on her phone. Let me know if you need it, she wrote. That video changed everything. I watched it. Brenda's shrieking, me calmly setting the hammer down. The fake panic, the cops, Frank's arrival, the humiliation. All there. The video went up online. At first, nothing. Then it exploded, views, shares, news vans parked on my street, strangers sending support, and just as many trolls calling me a race baiter, an agitator. Brenda disappeared, Frank quit the HOA, but the hate went underground. I became the neighborhood controversy. Some brought pie, some turned cold, and George, 2 doors down, lectured me on property values, how bad publicity was the real tragedy, how standards mattered. It was the respectable face of the same ugly thing. The first HOA meeting was a mess, divided room, neighbors yelling, George trying to equate my anger with her racism. I stood up. Mistakes weren't made on all sides. Choices were. I said my piece. For once, the silence meant people were actually listening. Then Brenda sued me for defamation, emotional distress, and even personal injury, claimed she'd twisted her ankle when I lunged at her. The whole thing was a sham, meant to wear me down. But my lawyer Ben, old college friend, tough as nails, fought back. He dismantled every lie. The judge threw it out, called Brenda's suffering self-inflicted, and made her pay my legal fees. Afterwards, I went home, painted my front door robin's egg blue, poured some cheap champagne with Sarah on my fancy, donated patio set. Wasn't the peace I dreamed of, but it was peace I'd fought for. And maybe that's the only kind worth having. So, you tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? When is going along to get along, just surrender by another name? I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to fight for your place in a community, or stand your ground against the so-called keepers of the peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is there such a thing as justice in neighborhoods like this? Or is it all just a prettier shade of the same old story? Let's talk about it. Because sometimes the only way forward is to bring the ugly truth out into the sunlight and see who's willing to stand with you.